Hello. Something I get asked quite a lot in most emails is, can you look over this bit of work for me? Can you show me this? Can you show me how to do that? Can you look at my story? Can you look at my? I've had one CV, which is really weird, but a lot of things I get is from people wanting help with their writing, and this is something that I think is really, really, really important, is that everybody gets the chance to have their work seen by somebody who knows what they're doing. That everyone has the chance as an in towards feedback that they can actually use to go on and make something of a career in writing. Right now, that's not something that you can just get. You need to know the right people, or you need to be in with the right people, or you need to be incredibly lucky. So what I'm trying to do is bridge the gap, bring things down, just so you can get some help as well, because your writing matters as well. And to be honest with you, one of the best things about being on YouTube and being in contact with so many different people is I've read so many cool things. I've read so many cool things over the past couple of months, and if you've sent me stuff, I've not had anything that's bad, and that's the real kicker there. I've not read anything that's bad. I've not read anything in which I'm just thinking, oh my god, this is terrible. Nearly every single bit of work that I have, I could literally say, you know what, with a bit of guidance, this could be really good. This could be something that you could easily give to a lecturer or an editor, and get your foot in the door. So this is NorthernExile, this is writing, and this is a new service for you. It's reasonably priced feedback and editing. So why am I doing it? Well, as I just said, I'm tired of help within literature being extremely hard to come by. Since starting my YouTube channel, I get work sent to me all the time by people who simply need a little help to realise their talent. They're not looking for me to write their thesis for them or anything like that. They're just looking for pointers, looking for, am I getting this down? Am I getting it right? Are we actually, is the story flowing? Are my characters coming across? Things like that. And sometimes you don't need an editor to go over your entire story and give you in-depth feedback. Sometimes you just need someone to give you little pointers here and there just to see, and that costs too much money these days, because I believe this help at industry standard, it costs far too much. It costs hundreds of pounds or dollars in many cases just to have your work looked at by someone, and even then they'll give you, I've done this before, I've made this mistake, I've gone and got my work looked at, and it was so bland, the advice, you could tell they couldn't be bothered. And I wasted a lot of money doing that. I wasted a lot of money getting my work looked at that I probably shouldn't have. So, in fact, one of the two things I've got published was one that I sent and was outright ridiculed by one person who I gave £150 to go and read because they were a professional. So yeah, let's go to show. So I'm also tired of people being turned away from their talent by editors who take one peek at their work and throw it in the trash. Don't even get back to them at all. After you've paid for it, they just take your work, they look at it, put it in the trash. If they even look at it at all, if a editor's giving their work to you free of charge, as in if they're letting you use their service free of charge, they're hoping that you're going to be the next J.K. Rowling. They're hoping that you're going to be the next George Martin. That's never going to work. Because unless something really stands out to them, they're not going to do it. They're not going to give you the time of day. Your work is not even going to be read. The first page is going to be read and then just thrown in the trash, which is really unfortunate. But this is why I'm doing this. Okay. And lastly, I've got to be honest. If you're good at something, never do it for free. I've been doing this for free for a long time. And I've helped a lot of people, and I'm sure a lot of you will give me good pointers and things like that, and we will get things sorted out that way, and then you can come back to me and give me feedback and stuff. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because there was somebody knocking there. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I've been doing this for quite a long while, and I know a lot of you will give me good feedback and will say, oh yeah, he's helped me quite a lot. That'd be great. But also, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So I'm moving to the US pretty soon. I'm going to be becoming a teacher, and I'm going to be specialising in writing to entertain and literature. So I'm literally going to be specialising in what I'm trying to teach here. So frankly, this helps me as much as it helps you, to be honest with you. Alright, so what can I cover? In a word, anything pretty much. Fiction in all its forms. So from short stories to novellas and full novels. If you need help with your pacing, character development, making a trope your own, everything is covered. You know, I know that making a trope your own is really harsh for people who have writer's block. You're thinking, oh, it's been done a million times. Well, let's help you get around that. Let's help you try and find something to make it your own. That's literally what we're going to be doing. So world building, how to create a space that feels real, pliable and authentic in which you can set a story. So, you know, making sure that your world engages with the reader, make sure that they've got exactly what they need going forward in reading your story. To make sure the complements and that it's actually a realistic world in which to set your stories. Academic writing. I've gotten a few essays since I've started doing this, all of which have gone on to get good grades, which is great. But academic writing, if you need help getting top grades in your essay, just get in touch and I'll sort that out for you. Personal statements. If you want to write a statement to a college or university, job that you're applying for, or just a fellow professional, I can do it so it'll really catch the eye and bring out the best of what you've got to say. So, again, fiction, all its forms. You know, books, short stories. I do any genre. So even though I do a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, I can do any genre and sort of yarn that way and make sure that you've got exactly what you need going forward. World building, again, any genre, doesn't have to be sci-fi or fantasy. You know, I've helped people quite a lot over the past couple of years in building worlds that are authentic. I've even helped build one tabletop role-playing game, which is out, which I'm on the credits for, which I think I'm going to post it on the channel once they've announced it, because it's being announced, I think, in 2 weeks' time, which is really, really cool. Or has it already been announced? Let me just have a little check. Check here on my phone. No, it's not been announced yet. So, and that'll be in a couple of weeks. So that'll be available in the stores, which is going to be really, really cool. So, you know, if you need help world building, I'm your guy for that as well. Academic writing, again, you know, I've got hopefully a lot of people will be coming forward on the Patreon and things like that, you know, with testimonials saying, yeah, I've helped them with their writing and things like that in terms of an academic style. Personal statements, again, you know, this is just something that obviously you can probably tell from my videos is that I'm quite good at writing personal statements, quite good at getting you to go over people and make sure that people know just how much of a cool person you are. So how does it work? Well, a one-to-one feedback session can take any form you wish, from email communication to one-on-one lessons in how to make your work better. Simply email your work to my email address, which is there, and outline your intentions for that piece of work. Give me a synopsis of what's going on. Is it world guide, story, and what are the main themes? Okay, that's all you need to do. And obviously, in that synopsis, tell me what you want to get out of our session together. You will then get a copy back of your work, complete with my notes on how to make things better, how to challenge your audience, how to get the hell out of severely used tropes and writer's block. So any problem you're saying that you're having, I'll approach your work that way, and I'll tell you exactly how to get around it, as well as, you know, some individual advice as well. My feedback tends to be extensive, so, you know, it's not uncommon for your 2,000 word, you know, introduction to a short story to double to 4,000 words. My notes are that much. I give you a ton of information to go over to make your work better. Having more information doesn't mean your work's bad. It just means that I'm really excited by your work and I really want to help it be better. This will also be covered in an extensive email in which highlights the great points about your work and some things that you need to work on and how to go about doing that. So even though all of my notes are in your piece of work, I also write you an email with itemized, you know, this is what you need to work on, this is what's really good, and this is what I recommend doing next. So you're getting a load of feedback. I'll tell you now, I charge per hour. But if I charge you for 2 hours, normally it's taking me 4. That's normally how I work things. I'm extensive with my feedback. I want you to make sure you're getting the best out of me. You're getting the best out of your money and your time. If you wish, we can also have a face-to-face session, which is like a one-on-one lesson. It takes place on Skype, where we discuss this feedback and how to get your writing to where you want it to be. Or we can do it without feedback. If you just want to have a lesson where we talk about your writing, talk about how to improve it, that's also cool. If you want to send me your work that I then go over on Skype, that's also really cool. Normally the process is you send me your work, I give you feedback, and then we go over it on Skype. But we can do whatever you need to do, whatever you feel comfortable doing, that's what we will do, whatever you feel is best for you. My feedback is always professional, to the point, and designed to get the very, very best out of your talent. You have a talent. Let's get it out there and show other people so that they can see it too. What does it cost? Now, nitty gritty now, isn't it? I charge £10 per 1,500 words that I'm asked to cover. That charge is capped to £50 for a dissertation or novella-sized work that is 5,000 words or longer. So, essentially, I charge by the hour. So, 1,000 words normally takes me around an hour to cover, to give you extensive feedback on, to really go in there and get in-depth feedback on it. So I charge £10 an hour, and I give 1,500 words just as a, because I enjoy doing it. It's almost an enjoy doing your work tax, I give you that 500 words for free each and every time. So £10 per 1,500 words. And if your work is huge and it's going to take me a long time to cover it all, £50 for a dissertation size, 12,000 words, or a novella sized work, 20,000 words. Yeah, £50. So I tend to think that's really fair. Normally, if you go to an editor, a professional editor or something like that, you'll be paying them upwards of £300, £400, £500 for a single piece of work that's not even novella sized. So I'm trying to keep this affordable, but I'm also trying to make money off it as well, let's be honest. Any work under 1,500 words, I will happily look at for a £5 donation to the Patreon page. So if you've got like a 500 words, you want me to look at a few sentences, you want me to, a few paragraph sentences, whatever. If you just whack a £5 donation onto the Patreon page, tell me who you are, send me your work, I'll look over it, and I'll give you the exact same standard feedback as I give everything else. Okay? One-on-one sessions cost £12 per hour and are conducted via Skype. £12 per hour, it's more expensive simply because I have to, we go on your time, so if you say, can we do a one-on-one session at 6 PM on the 17th of November, I'll be like, yes, of course we can, but then you're in my schedule then, so there's a £2 more charge on that because you're in my schedule. If you just give me your work to look at, I can do that at any time. Normally, I turn around feedback very, very, very quickly on written work, so expect your written work to be back with you. If it's anything below 3,000 words, expect it the next day. So the next working day, expect it. Normally by 6 PM UK time, the next working day. Whereas obviously with one-on-one sessions, I now need to set time aside in my diary to make sure that we're doing that one-on-one session. So £12 per hour for that, and they're normally conducted via Skype. Now in the one-to-one session, again, we don't need to do video if you don't want to. It's generally just a call where we go over the feedback I gave you, or I do this. I've done this a fair amount of times as well. I do tutor English, where I read your essay cold turkey whilst you're here with me, or I read your story cold turkey. I've never seen it before. I read it whilst you're there, and they give you feedback. I write it in as we're talking. We can do it in any which way you want. I love doing sessions via Skype because you learn so much about people. You learn so much about other writers and how they go about their work. It's an amazing experience. I really do love it. So yeah, can't wait to get started on that with you guys. All payments can be made via Patreon or PayPal, and obviously I'll give you the link to the Patreon at the end of the video, and PayPal is, well, we can discuss that at the time. I'll give you my other personal email address at the time. So no matter what size your work is, the depth of my feedback and support is the same. I'm not in the business of giving you anything less than my absolute best in terms of help. You will always get the top standard that I can afford to give you. And one thing I can promise you with my services in here, if you use me, you will get better. That's the only thing I can promise. You will get better, and your work will get better. I can promise you that, no matter what it is. So, those are the charges, and that's what that entails. So now we've got the horrible bit out of the way. So thank you, lastly. So if you've taken time to watch any of my videos, if you've taken time to give me your work in the past, thank you very, very, very much. And I'm thanking you in advance for hopefully on this video and on my Patreon page, give me some some, some nice words would be nice. If I've helped you in the past, that'd be great. And whether it's been in a video form, whether it's been in writing, whether it's been in feedback I've given you for free, just get in touch. Thanks very, very, very much for watching. And hopefully I'll be speaking to you soon when you're going to be having me read some of your fantastic work. So I'll speak to you soon. See you later.